Hi and welcome to Flourish Wellbeing TV. I'm Prabha Shiani and I'm a certified health coach and nutritionist. In this video, I want to talk to you about mouth cancer. So November is Mouth Cancer Action Month, and so I wanted to talk about this subject because it's something that I got to know very well indeed just over 10 years ago. What is mouth cancer? It kills more people in the UK than cervical cancer and testicular cancer put together. The key to survival with mouth cancer is early detection. I mean, that's the key with any cancer, but particularly mouth cancer. The reason I know this and the reason why I'm talking to you about this subject is because, as I said, I got to know it pretty well back in 2006. This is when I got that diagnosis. So I was just about to turn 32, and I was sitting in a consultant's office and was hearing those words, I'm sorry, Prabha, but you have mouth cancer. And as you can imagine, it was a real blow. I started to look into what could have caused this for me because I didn't have the typical risk factors. Now, I think there are many things that contributed to me getting mouth cancer, but maybe that's something for another video. But what I want to talk to you about today is the symptoms, what to look out for, and how, what to get checked, and also how to reduce your risks of getting it in the first place, which is key. So, symptoms and signs. Anything in your mouth that feels odd or wrong, get it checked out. Anything such as ulcers in the mouth that haven't healed for a while and are sore. When I say a while, I mean over 2 weeks, 3 weeks. If they're still there, then go and get them checked. Also, lumps in the mouth that are unexplained and are persistent. Lumps in the neck as well. If you've got unexplained lumps in the neck that aren't going away. Other things that can be a sign is changes in speech. So if you suddenly develop a lisp, if you get numbness of the lips or numbness of the tongue, it's another thing to get checked, definitely. Looseness of the teeth as well, any unexplained looseness in the teeth, or if you've had teeth removed and the sockets aren't healing, then again needs to be checked out. Causes. What causes this disease? The most common risk factor is smoking. If you're a smoker, then your best bet is to quit for many reasons, and that goes for e-cigarettes as well. Also, chewing tobacco can be a risk factor, as well as chewing betel nut as well. Many cultures, they chew betel nut. You really don't want to be doing that. It's a carcinogen, cancer causing substance. The other risk factor is alcohol. So drinking alcohol, particularly neat spirits, can be a big risk factor. If you are going to have alcohol, then really keep it to a minimum and try and stick to diluted drinks. Spirits on their own probably aren't a good idea, and keep it to moderation, again for your overall health, not just to prevent mouth cancer. Another risk factor is the HPV virus. Wasn't something I had, but it's something maybe worth checking out to see if you have it. Poor diet, that's another risk factor in itself for many things. So you want to be making sure your diet is really abundant in fruits and vegetables. So what other things can you do apart from eating well, which everyone should be paying attention to? A perfect diet, you'd be getting 7 to 12 portions of fruit and vegetables every single day. Now I know that's difficult and many people aren't even getting to 3, but you really want to pay attention. Fruits and vegetables are full of antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, but unfortunately we just need to eat a lot more of them these days to get the quantities of those nutrients that we need. Another thing to prevent diseases such as mouth cancer is giving up cigarettes, and that means the e-cigarettes too. So research recently, if people are switching to e-cigarettes thinking it's a safer option, And whilst you're not getting the tobacco and the tar that you'd be getting in regular cigarettes, you are still getting exposure to chemicals that your body doesn't know what to do with, and these are toxins. So you want to do away with both, ideally. And actually there was a recent study published in OncoTarget where researchers looked at the effects of e-cigarettes. You know, they found that e-cigarettes were damaging cells in the mouth. And another study, they found that e-cigarettes were actually killing mouth cells in as little as a few days. So imagine if you're smoking e-cigarettes for weeks, months, years, you know, you are going to be causing tissue damage in the mouth, no doubt about it. So get help, quit them both. You don't really want that stuff in your body. Another thing is, obviously, as I said, limiting your alcohol, and if you are going to drink, try and stick to the beer and wine, and if you have the odd spirit, then make sure it's diluted and not neat. Like I said, making sure your diet is, you know, really good and full of fruits and vegetables, because that's a key to good health all around. And reducing your stress as well. So stress is a massive killer. It's linked to so many different diseases, and you really want to learn to manage your stress levels. You're never going to get rid of all your stress, but you really want to learn techniques to manage your stress. And I'll do future videos on how to do that, and you know, and blogs as well. And the last tip I can give you is visit your dentist. So I know that's not the first thing on our priority list normally, you know, no one loves visiting the dentist, but I can tell you that over the last 10 years it's something that I don't miss. You know, it's in my diary. Every 6 months I visit the dentist and make sure everything's okay. If you don't want to go every 6 months, at least every a year, once a year, go and get your oral health checked, because the dentists aren't actually just looking at your teeth. They're checking the entire oral cavity. So they're looking at your, they're looking at the lining of your mouth, they're looking at your teeth, they're looking at your tongue, they're looking as far back down as your throat. And they're trained to do this and pick up on anything that doesn't look right. I know this because I had 3 visits to my GP and was given various creams and lotions to put on that little white patch before I was referred to a dentist. And it was the dentist that referred me on to a consultant, so that's how it was picked up. Make sure, if you haven't seen your dentist this year, make it a priority. And if you've got any of those symptoms at all in between dental visits, make an appointment immediately to get it checked. Better to be safe than sorry. Lots of these symptoms are probably nothing and very innocent, but like I said, prevention is key, but also if you do have something that's not right, then picking it up early is really crucial to a good outcome. I'm fortunate that mine was picked up relatively early, which is why I'm still sitting here talking to you today. So I hope you've learned something today in this video, and I hope you've got a few useful tips to take away. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, then please do by just clicking the button below. And also, if you haven't signed up to the Flourish Wellbeing newsletter, then get along to www.flourishwell.co.uk and sign up to the free newsletter. This is where I share lots of tips on health and well-being, as well as some delicious healthy recipes as well. If you're a social media fan as well, come and hang out with me on Twitter, Facebook or Instagram. I'd love to see you there. I will catch you on the next video. In the meantime, stay happy and stay healthy, and I will speak to you soon.